Games.
Lasagna. Okay, fine. If you want to be like that, we're just gonna start, Teras.
Okay.
The Book of Nehemiah. Oh, a new book, Teras.
I'm somehow unprepared for this. Hold on. I swear to God, I'm paying attention.
Why not pay 11 shin? Why stop at attention? I like the camera panning. It just slowly shows off Teras' room. Perfect. We'll get to enjoy whatever the hell Teras is up to. Anyway, okay, you know what? I just glanced over the first sentence. I'm gonna have to wait for Teras to come back. What in the fuck am I about to read? I guess I can repeat it for Teras. Nehemiah 1. The words of Nehemiah, the son of Hakaliah. And it happened that in the month of Chislev, in the 20th year, I was in the capital of Susa.
Shut up.
Teras, I would like to repeat a sentence for you, because you were gone.
Okay, cool.
It's the very first sentence of the book of Nehemiah. Are you ready?
No.
Okay. The words of Nehemiah, the son of Hakaliah.
I'm sorry, what?
Exactly. This is going in the best of.
Where's the rest of it?
This is the budget Bible. They couldn't afford the rest. And the rest of these words, have they not been written in the book of the kings of the...
Wrong.
Hello, Shadowcat. That's a fucking sentence. I was about to say a sentence and a half, but no, that's a half sentence.
No, it's not even up for one sentence. Never mind 1.5.
Not even one whole entire. And it happened that in the month of Chislev, in the 20th year, I was in the capital of Susa. And Hanani, one of my brothers, arrived, he and some men of Judah. And I questioned them about the Jews who had remained and were left behind from the captivity and about Jerusalem. And they said to me, one singular bit.
No.
Uno bito. Those who have remained and have been left behind from the captivity there in the province are in great affliction and in disgrace. And the wall of Jerusalem has been broken apart, and its gates have been burned with fire. And when I had heard this manner of words, I sat down, and I wept and mourned for many days. I fasted and prayed before the face of the skies of heaven, and I said, I beg you, O Lord, skies of heaven, strong, great, and terrible, who keeps covenant and mercy with those who love you, and who keep you and who keep your commandments. May your ears be attentive, and may your eyes be open, so that you may hear the prayer of your servant, which I am praying before you tonight, today, night and day, for the sons of Glasgow, your servants. And I am confessing the sins of the sons of Glasgow, which they have sinned against you. We have sinned, I and my daddy's house. We have been seduced by vanity, and we have not kept your commandments and ceremonies and judgments which you have instructed to your servant Osmosis. Remember the word which you commanded to your servant Osmosis, saying, You... No, wait, that's wrong. When you will have transgressed, I will disperse you amongst us, the nations. But if you will return to me and keep my precepts and do them, even if you will have been led away to the furthest reaches of the heavens, I will gather you from there, and I will lead you back to the place that I have chosen, so that my name would dwell there. And these same are your servants and your people, whom you have redeemed by your great strength and by your powerful hand. I beg you, O Lord, may your ear be attentive.
I've added a new drinking rule.
Yeah, I just want to... May your ear be attentive. Just one
Just
ear.
the 1 year.
To the prayer of your servant, and to the prayer of your servants who are willing to fear your name. And so, guide your servant today, and grant to him mercy before this man. For I was the cupbearer of the kings. Okay, what we got? Where the fuck rules? Sins of Glasgow. You wanna die, don't you?
Ooh. Just be glad that we don't have a rule where all new rules get applied retroactively.
We don't have one yet.
I mean, this is now unironic. Do you want to die?
Would you like to meet the Lord your Skytith?
One express ticket. Front row seat.
Nehemia 2. Now it happened that in the month of
I
Nisan...
got some spicy pretzel pieces.
That's kind of pretzely.
I enjoy pretzel pieces.
Now it happened that in the month of Nisan, in the 20th year of King Artaxerxes, wine was before him.
I don't quite like Nissan. I prefer like a Mercedes.
It's Nisan. It's one S. Hint. And I lifted up the wine, and I gave it to the king. And I was like someone languishing before his face. And the king said to me, Why is your expression sad, though you do not appear to be sick? This is not without cause, but some evil, I know not what, is in your heart. And I was struck with an exceedingly great fear. And I said to the king, O king, live forever. Why should my expression not be mournful, since the city of the house of the sepulchres of my daddy is desolate, and its gates have been burned with fire? And the king said to me, What would you request? And I prayed to the skies of heaven. And I said to the king, If it seems good to the king, and if your servant is pleasing before your face, that you would send me into Judea to the city of the sepulchre of my daddy, and I will rebuild it. That's not even what the...
The wording of the Bible sometimes just fucking rubs me off.
It fucking slaps. Just like me. My dick, I mean what?
Pleasing before your face.
And the king said to me, with the queen who was sitting beside him, Until what time will your journey be, and when will you return? And it was pleasing before the countenance of the king, and so he sent me. And I established a time for him. I said to the king, If it seems good to the king, may he give me letters to the governors of the region beyond the river, so that they may lead me through until I arrive in Judea, and a letter to ASAP H, the keeper of the king's forest, so that he may give me timber, in order that I may be able to cover the gates of the tower of the house, and the walls of the city, and the house that I will enter. and the king granted to me in accord with the good hand of my Skytis, who is with me. And I went to the governors of the region beyond the river, and I gave them the letters of the king. Now, the king had sent me with military leaders and horse seamen. And Sanballat, a Horonite, and the servant Tobiah, an Ammonite, heard this. And they were saddened with a great affliction that a man had arrived who was seeking the prosperity of the sons of Glasgow. And I arrived at Jerusalem, and I was there for 3 days. And I got up in the night, and I and few men with me. And I did not reveal to anyone what Skytis had placed in my heart to do in Jerusalem. And there was no animal with me, except the animal on which I was sitting. Greetings, animal. And I departed in the night through the... Are you okay?
Not really.
Okay, good. And I departed in the night through the gate of the valley, and before the fountain of the dragon, toward the dung gate. The fountain of the dragon?
They're just making shit up at this point.
I'm just...
Dragging these nuts.
Oh yeah, Mr. Krabs. Just got recruited by the military. You may now call me Captain. Yeah, it doesn't work when you read it out, but it's actually pretty good. This is just trying to suppress the chuckle. He mostly succeeded, but I was able to notice. And I considered the wall of Jerusalem, which was broken apart, and its gates, which had been consumed by fire. And I continued on to the gate of the fountain and to the aqueduct of the king. And there was no room for the Beastonian on which I was sitting to pass through. And so I climbed up in the night along the torrent, and I considered the wall. Just imagine in the night, you just climb up, you just look at the wall. Interesting. It's just what I'm picturing right now. And turning back, I went by the gate of the valley, and I returned. Now, the magistrates did not know where I had gone or what I had done. For I had revealed nothing, even to that point in time, to the Jews, or to the priests, or to the nobles, or to the magistrates, or to the others who were doing the work. And so I said to them, "You know the affliction in which we are, because Jerusalem is desolate, and its gates have been consumed by fire. Come, and let us rebuild the walls of Jerusalem, and let us no longer be in disgrace." And I revealed to them how the hand of my Skytis was with me for good, and the words of the king which he had spoken to me. And I said, "Let us rise up and build." And their hands were strengthened for good. But Sanballat, a Horonite, and the servant Tobiah, an Ammonite, and Geshem, an Arab, heard of it. And they ridiculed and disparaged us, and they said, "What is this thing that you are doing? Could you be rebelling against the king?" And I replied to them a word. And I said to them, "These." I replied a word and said to them, and then it's more than one word. How does that work? "The Skytis of heaven himself is helping us, and we are his servants. Let us rise up and build. But there is no portion, or justice, or remembrance in Jerusalem for you." That was definitely not just a word. Teras' heart is dead. Not yet, but we're working on that. Well, we're going to start with the liver, and then eventually his heart is going to fail as well. But liver failure first. Nehemiah 3. And Eliashib, the great priest, rose up with his brothers, the priests, and they built the gate of the flock. And they sanctified it, and they set up its double doors, and as far as the tower of 100 times 18 inches, 457 millimeters, they sanctified it, even to the tower of Hananel. And beside him, the men of Jericho built. And beside them, Zechar, the son of Imri, built. But the sons of Hasenah built the fish gate. Ini the beninging, there was a subscriber.
I come.
Anyways, moving on. They covered it, just like Teras did. And they set up its double doors and locks and bars. And beside them, Meremoth, son of Uriah, the son of Hakos, built. And beside him, Bob, the son of the builder, built.
What are you reading?
What do you mean?
I'm sorry, what the fuck, Richard?
Beside him, Meshulam, the son of Berechiah, the son of Meshezabel, built. And beside them, Zadok, the son of Baana, built. And beside them, the Tekoites built. The nobles among them did not put their necks to the work of their Lord.
Nick.
And Joiada, the son of Paseah, and Meshulam, the son of Besodeiah, built the old gate. They covered it, and they set up its double doors and locks and bars. Beside them, Melatiah, a Gibeonite, and Jadon, a Meronothite, men from Gibeon and Mizpah, built, on behalf of the governor who was in the region across the river. And beside him, Uzziel, the son of Harhaiah, a goldsmith, built. And beside him, Hananiah, the son of the perfumer, built. And they left aside Jerusalem as far as the wall of the broad street. And beside him, Rephaiah, the son of Hur, the leader of a street of Jerusalem, built. And beside him, Jediah, the son of Harumaph, built, opposite his own house. And beside him, Hattush, the son of Hashabneah, built. Melchijah, the son of Haram, and Hashab, the son of Pahath-Moab, built 1/2 part of the street and the tower of the furnaces. Beside him, Shallum, the son of Helohesh, the leader of 1/2 part of the street of Jerusalem, built, he and his daughters. And Hanan built the gate of the valley with the inhabitants of Zanoah. They built it, and they set up its double doors and locks and bars with 1,000 times 18 inches, 457 millimeters, of the wall as far as the gate of the dunghill. And Melchijah, the son of Rechab, the leader of the street of Beth Hakerem, built the gate of the dunghill. He built it, and he set up its double doors and locks and bars. And Shallum, the son of Kolhose, the leader of the district of Mizpah, built the gate of the fountain. He built it, and he covered it, and he set up its double doors and locks and bars, and the walls of the pool of Shelah, at the garden of the king, and as far as the steps that descended from the city of David. After him, Nehemiah, the son of Azbuk, the leader of 1/2 part of the street of Bethzur, built as far as opposite the sepulchre of David, even to the pool which was constructed with great labor, and even to the house of the strong. That's the first mention of Nehemiah, I believe. Aside from the book being named after him, but yeah. After him,
I wouldn't know.
the Levites, Rehum, the son of Bani, built. After him, Hashabiah, the leader of 1/2 part of the street of Keilah, built in his own neighborhood. After him, their brothers, Binui, the son of Henadad, the leader of 1/2 part of Keilah, built. And beside him, Ezer, the son of Jeshua, the leader of Mizpah, built another measure. What the fuck? Oh my god, no. I wanna die. My graphics driver crashed. Again! Amazing! Thanks, AMD. Thanks for providing such reliable software. I'm having a great time. Are you having a great time?
Yes, it's funny.
Where the fuck was I?
At least it didn't seem to have interrupted your stream. It's kept it going.
No,
it just flashed.
It was
kind of like
same as
paused it
last
really
time.
quickly. The last time we completely ended the stream.
I ended the stream because I couldn't take the crashes anymore because it crashed 3 times within like 10 minutes.
Have you tried just not crashing?
Have you tried just never buying an AMD graphics card ever again? I haven't, and that's
actually,
apparently a mistake.
Yeah, I have, and it's been working great. No problems.
Fucking amazing. Yeah, thanks Microsoft. Microsoft updated my graphics driver, made it incompatible with the driver software, so I had to update to the very latest version, and that apparently still hasn't fixed this issue.
Yeah, Cat Peasant's got a point.
Yeah, you know what? That's a new rule. Cat Peasant having a point. You gotta drink.
Son of a bitch.
And because I came up with the rule, I gotta drink twice. Jokes on you, I already did.
Wow.
And beside him, Ezer, the son of Jeshua, the leader of Mizpah, built another measure opposite the ascent to the strongest corner. After him, at the mount, Baruch, the son of Zabbai, built another measure from the corner even to the door of the house of Eliashib, the great priest. After him, Meremoth, the son of Uriah, the son of Hakos, built another measure from the door of the house of Eliashib along the length of the house of Eliashib. And after him, the priests, men from the plains of the Jordan, built. After him, Ben, Jamin, Yoraz, and Hashab built opposite their own house. And after him, Azariah, the son of Messiah, the son of Ananiah, built opposite his own house. After him, Binui, the son of Henadad, built another measure from the house of Azariah even to the bend and to the corner. Palal, the son of Uzai, built opposite the bend and the tower that projects from the from the high house of the king, that is, into the court of the prison. After him, Pedaiah, the son of Parosh, built. And the temple servants who were living in Ophel built to a point opposite the water gate toward the Estonian and the tower that is prominent. After him, the Tekoites built another measure in the opposite area, from the great and prominent tower to the wall of the temple. Then upward from the horse gate, the priests built, each one opposite his own house. After them, Zadok, the son of Immer, built opposite his own house. And after him, Shemaiah, the son of Shechaniah, the keeper of the Estonian gate, built. After him, Hananiah, the son of Shelemiah, and Hanan, the sixth son of Zalaph, built another measure. After him, Meshullam, the son of Berechiah, built, opposite his own storehouse. After him, Malchijah, the son of the goldsmith, built, even up to the house of the temple servants and of the sellers of small items opposite the judgment gate, and even to the upper room of the corner. And within the upper room of the corner, at the gate of the flock, the goldsmiths and the merchants built. Didn't we have a rule about something being repeated plenty of times? Yeah, we do. Cheers.
Oh, okay.
Can I fix this on my end? No, I cannot. Rip. Nehemiah 4. Now it happened that when Sanballat had heard that we were building the wall, he was very angry. And having been moved exceedingly, he ridiculed the Jews. And he said, before his brothers and a crowd of the Samaritans, "What are the foolish Jews doing? Can it be that the genitals will allow them? Will they sacrifice and finish in one day, ooh? Do they have the ability to make stones out of piles of dust that have been burned up?" Then too, Tobiah, an Ammonite, and his assistant said, "Let them build. When the F-Cox climb, he will leap over their stone wall." When the F-Cox climbs, singular F-Cox, my bad. Listen, O our Skytis, for we have become an object of contempt. Turn their reproach upon their own head, and grant that they may be despised in a land of captivity. May you not conceal their iniquity, and may their sin not be wiped away before your face, for they have ridiculed those who are building. And so we built the wall, and we joined it together, even to the unfinished portion. And the heart of the people was stirred up for the work. Now it happened that when Sanballat and Tobiah and the Arabs and the Ammonites and the Ashdodites had heard that the walls of Jerusalem had been closed and that the breaches had begun to be repaired, they were exceedingly angry. And they all gathered together so that they might go forth and fight against Jerusalem, and so that they might prepare ambushes. And we prayed to our Skytis, and we stationed guards upon the wall, day and night, against them. Then Judah said, "The strength of those who carry has diminished, and the amount of material is very great, and so we will not be able to build the wall." And our enemies said, "Let them neither know nor realize until we arrive in their midst, and kill them, and cause the work to cease." Now it happened that, on 10 occasions, some Jews arrived who were living near them from all the places from which they came to us, and they told us this. So I stationed the people in order in places behind the wall, all around it, with their swords, and lances, and bows. And I gazed around, and I rose up. And I said to the nobles, and to the magistrates, and to the rest of the common people, do not be afraid before their face. Remember the great and terrible Lord, and fight on behalf of your brothers, your sons, and your daughters, and your wives, and your households. Then it happened that, when our enemies had heard that it had been reported to us, Skytus defeated their council. And we all returned to the walls, each one to his own work. And everybody clapped. And it happened that, from that day, half of their young men were doing the work, and half were prepared for war with lances and shields and bows and armor. And the leaders were behind them in all the house of Judah. As for those building the wall and carrying the burdens and setting things in place, one of his hands was doing the work, and the other was holding a sword. For each one of the builders was girded with a sword at the waist. And they were building, and they were sounding a trumpet beside me. And I said to the nobles, and to the magistrates, and to the rest of the common people, the work is great and wide, and we are separated on the wall, far from one another. At whatever place you hear the sound of the trumpet, rush to that place for us. Our Skytus will fight on our behalf, and so let us accomplish the work, and let 1/2 part of us hold spears from the ascent of dawn until the stars come out. Also at that time I said to the people, let each one with his servant remain in the midst of Jerusalem, and let us take turns throughout the night and day in doing the work. But I and my brothers and my servants and the guards who were behind me, we did not take off our clothes. Each one only removed his clothes to wash. So we didn't take off our clothes, except when we did, but we didn't.
Thanks, Bible. Very cool.
Just Bible things, TM.
Yeah, apparently.
Nehemiah 5. There occurred a great outcry of the people and their wives against their brothers, the Jews. And there were those who were saying, our sons and daughters are very many. Let us receive grain as a price for them, and then we may eat and live. And there were those who were saying, let us offer up our fields and vineyards and our houses, and then we may receive grain during the famine. And others were saying, let us borrow money for the tribute of the king, and let us surrender our fields and vineyards. And then there's a new speech, apparently. And now, as is the flesh of our brothers, so is our flesh. And as are their sons, so also are our sons. Behold! We have subjugated our sons and our daughters into servitude, and some of our daughters are slaves, nor do we have the ability to redeem them, for others possess our fields and our vineyards. Okay, what the fuck? Teras, I'm gonna need your assistance in a moment.
No, you're not.
Are you looking at the Bible or at the stream?
Sure, I'm looking at your stream.
Okay, so it says, and others were saying, and then let us borrow, blah, blah, blah. So this is what others were saying.
Right, okay, yeah.
Okay, who is saying this? It's never specified. So the speech ends? Is it just because you can't have speech that goes across a different verse? Or is it still the same people speaking? Or is it a different entity speaking and it's just never specified who is speaking? Because after that, it's not...
Well, I mean, it was saying others, which does imply a multiple. So it could just be, more than one person speaking, technically. Or it could just be Bible being silly and not wanting to have speech that goes over a number, even though I'm pretty sure it's done that.
I also feel like that has happened before, but I couldn't point to a particular instance, and I surely can't be bothered to find one. But yeah, okay. I am crazy, but that's a different story. Crazy? I was crazy once. They locked me in a room. And when I had heard their outcry in these words, I was exceedingly angry. And I started to flap my arms, and I started to fly like a bird. And thus I became the angry bird.
Oh.
The confusion on your face.
Why are you gay? Fucking donut, honestly.
Donut pass, $20 fine. And my heart considered within me. That's a sentence. And my heart considered within me.
Nice. Yeah. I think the heart should generally be considered within you.
No,
I don't think I'd consider it outside of you.
No, the heart is not being considered. The heart itself actively considers, and my heart considered within me. So the heart is actively considering. Does your heart not consider?
I can't say that it does, although maybe I wouldn't know, to be entirely fair.
And I rebuked the nobles and the magistrates, and I said to them, "Have you each been exacting usury from your brothers?" And I gathered together a great assembly against them, and I said to them, "As you know, in accord with what was possible for us, we have redeemed our brothers, the Jews, who had been sold to the Gentiles. And yet, now you sell your brothers, and we must redeem them?" And they were silent.
Mark?
Ooh. And they were silent, nor did they find anything to answer. And I said to them, "The thing that you are doing is not good. Why are you not walking